Welcome to the Podcats. Today started out promising. Uh, Hold on, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Nicole,
I'm Sarah.
and we're both really upset. We are huge fans of the Heathers movie and musical, so we thought we'd do an episode on those two and the new show since they released it early. We started with the soundtrack of the musical, and then we watched the movie, and then we watched the TV show. And I don't know where to start. Sarah, do you want to?
Well, let's start with the two that we like.
Okay. Movie. Lovely.
Because the
Wonderful.
hatred's going to take a long
Yeah,
time.
it's going to be bad. I think we're going to be cutting back and forth a lot. So, okay. I'm new to Heathers. I watched it, I think, because I knew there was a musical. So I went and watched the movie, and I liked it the second time I watched it, and then I listened to the musical, and it was amazing. And so we've been riding off of that awesomeness for however long, and then we hear, oh, there's a Heathers TV show. My first thought is, why? My second thought is, okay, cool. And then the promo started coming out. Do you want to say what your initial thoughts were when I forced you to watch the first trailer?
I'm going to be perfectly honest, it was completely unmemorable to me.
Okay.
It was the second trailer where they revealed that Chandler was a heavy girl, and I was just like, what? What?
I should point out, one of the writers was talking about some of the backlash they're getting because the show is like really offensive and bad. And his excuse is that it's ironic and it's satire, and if you don't like it, then you just don't understand it. I don't want to pick apart some writer because I like him normally. I think he missed the point completely, and I don't appreciate being told essentially I'm stupid if I don't like it, especially when the writing's bad and they had all this material to work with and they still blew it, which is really tough for me. We're talking about the show, obviously.
Yeah, I don't care too much about like who wrote it, like or anything like that. The biggest problem with that is that when people started hating the show because it's terrible. One of the things they said was that it's okay because the majority of the staff is is LGBT or queer, and the problem with that is no one gives a shit about who writes the show. No one thinks about it, so it's
Yeah,
not an excuse to do whatever you want.
we are writers and I don't really think about it too much. So, like, that should tell you something. Also, yeah, being a part of the community doesn't make an excuse for you to be disrespectful to them. So, you can be a gay writer or any person in the LGBT community, and if you're insulting to that community, it doesn't make it right that you're a part of it. It makes it worse, and that should be obvious.
Well, the other thing is, if I hadn't known what he had said about the irony and satire thing before going in, I wouldn't have a fucking clue what they were going for through the entire show.
I don't
Because I think
understand
the
anyway.
I think the irony is that we, as the audience, understand that all the heavy people and the LGBTQ people and the people who are picked on for their race, all of them aren't the highest. Aren't the highest status in the high school, and so it's supposed to be ironic because of that. Instead, it just comes off incredibly offensive because you're showing them what will never happen and then also making them bad guys.
Yeah, like it is kind of horrible that they did that. It's like, yeah, I mean, obviously not to say heavy people can't be popular, whatever. Like I mean, that's not the part that bothers me. It's that they made them all the bad guys and like I don't know if everyone's supposed to be a bad guy, like cuz I watched it and I hated every character on it. Like are we supposed to like JD with his like really stupid nihilistic philosophizing and then Veronica with her how do you even describe Veronica?
Poor privileged white girl.
Yeah, I'll start with what I hated the most, which was like there was a scene where I guess she needed to be away from Heather for 5 minutes to look on her phone for some like she was just scrolling through her phone. I don't even think she needed to be away. I don't know what the point was because I think she was just bored. So she's like, I'll take this stranger and I guess I'll make him go down on me in a car, which is weird. I don't know where they got that from or what they're trying to say about her character. Because, like, it wasn't that she needed a minute away from her because she wanted to, like, thinking back, she just, like, was bored.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't know what you're trying to say about her, that she's bored, she just hooks up with strangers. It's like, I don't think that really adds anything to her character, and it confused me, like, for what they were going for, because in the movie, Veronica made a point as to not hook up with a stranger who was a pig, because it was beneath her, because he was a terrible person, and then in the show, it's just like, do you have a car? And then it cuts to him going down on her. For no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
And then it made fun, like, he's like, she said no because she was looking at her phone. He's like, I want you to make a note that I stopped the second you said no. It's like they're mocking, it feels like they're mocking rape victims in that. Like, to me, honestly, it felt a
Yeah,
little bit like that. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I think it was just commentary on how, like,
Overly PC people are.
yeah, but it
Or, like,
doesn't work
careful.
because it's okay to be careful so you're not a rapist. That's okay, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
I just don't know what they were going for. And I'm sitting here baffled and, like, mad.
The part that offended me the most, just from the show in general, was that it's about high school and you're showing all the, like, high school is probably the most difficult time for the majority of people who are LGBTQ, and they're openly mocking it essentially.
Yeah.
And so instead of showing them just like, hey, here's someone who is doing good with it, they're just like, here's something you're never gonna get. And like, let's just beat you down a little bit more. What's the point of that?
I
You're just hurting people at that point.
I don't like when people do something terrible and then, like, claim irony, like when they do something racist or sexist or homophobic. And like, oh, no, it's ironic. It's fine. And, like, the whole blowout from, if anyone, like, has seen the movie, which I'm hoping everyone has, like, the big blowout with Heather Chandler and Veronica at the party was Veronica got sick and they got into a fight. And then in the show, Veronica called her fatty. And that's what sets this whole thing off, because, like, her go-to move is to call her friend fat, which, like, putting that aside, like, whatever, but it's just like, it felt like in the movie it was super petty that her friend's mad that she got sick, and that's fine, but, like, in the show, the pettiness of it didn't play the right way.
No, and part of that problem is the setup. Like what I kept saying during the entire pilot is they didn't earn this. It's because they try to rush the entirety of the first half of the movie into 40 minutes of a show while also shoving a bunch of other stuff in it. So the entirety of it, you're just like, why are you doing this already? Why are you in love with this guy already? Why are you
Yeah.
arguing already? Why are you at the party already? We have 15 minutes
Yeah.
of setup in the movie just at lunch showing how much of a bitch all the Heathers are.
But what's weird is, like, okay, the episode opens with you seeing JD's mom kill herself, and I'm putting kill herself in quotes because I don't think she's supposed to be dead. They put her in the trailer for the later ones. And then it's like, okay, well, if you saw the movie, you already know that happens, whatever. And then at the end of the episode, at the end of episode 1, let me make it clear, it's episode 1, JD's already telling Veronica how his mom died, and in the movie, he didn't tell her until, like, they broke up. Like, right before they broke, that was almost at the end of the movie, we didn't find that
And
out.
at this point, when he's telling Veronica all this stuff, they've hung out for, I'm going to say, about 5 minutes of screen time, and JD's gotten maybe about 7 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
In the entire episode, and he's already revealing all these personal secrets.
And they revealed, like, the dad was a psycho immediately. It's like, just in case you don't get it by everything he's saying and how he's acting, like, the lamp is an automatic rifle, and JD is like straight up saying his dad is like a terrible person. And it's like, at the same, they're trying to shove it in your faces, like they don't think you're smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
And isn't that like the opposite of satire?
It's so stupid when they call it satire. It worked. Everything worked with the movie because
Yeah.
pretty much everything was understated.
They set up a really weird tone from the very opening scene in the movie, so, like, anything they did, it felt fine. And then in this show, it feels like the real world, quote unquote, and then they're doing weird stuff still, and it just doesn't work because it's like the person who made it didn't watch the movie more than once. And, like, God, I don't even know how to, like, break down why I hate every character. Like, JD is really irritating. Like, in the movie versus the musical, his character's pretty different. Like, in the musical, they tried to make him more sympathetic. He was, like, kind of a normal, sweet guy. He was just, like, aside from the killing, but, like, he was kind of, like, numb. And in the show, he
He's
he's
angry.
angry. I get why. Like I understand if he's angry because his dad's like a psycho and his mom killed him. But like we don't, as an audience, we need like a little more subtlety. Maybe put it off a little bit. Like he doesn't know Veronica, and yet he goes up to talk to her for literally no reason, and he seems enamored with her immediately,
Yeah.
which is strange. And that they're doing things rushed when they have 10 episodes. The movie's an hour and 50 minutes maybe, and nothing felt rushed. Yet this show has so much time, and they smushed all this stuff into 40 minutes. It's like, why would you do that? It makes me worry that they have like grand plans for the rest of it, and they just need to shove this in because they don't have time for it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they try to get all the actual Heather stuff out of the way as fast as
Yeah,
humanly
because they have
possible
their own ideas.
so they can go and do their own
Do you
stuff.
want to talk about the twists?
What twists?
Uh,
Sorry,
I use the
it
word
was like a
loosely.
fugue state for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset. I was just coming off of an awesome chicken dinner and then we watched this trash. But I guess I'll go with the first twist, which I knew because they shove Heather Chandler in every friggin' trailer, like a ton of footage. Like, she's not dead, which, okay. I don't really like where it looks like it's going, that she's going to
Spoilers, by
be.
the way.
Spoilers. I'll put it in the title. But, okay. They didn't kill Heather. I knew they weren't going to kill Heather.
Mm-hmm.
They tricked us for whatever reason. Fine. Do whatever your stupid different thing is. I don't like that it looks like Heather's going to be pulling the strings and it's like, okay, we need more reason for everyone to be okay that she's going to die at the end if she even dies. That's the first twist. And then the other twist, which I called like 2 seconds before it happens, like, oh, is Betty Finn going to be the new, like, for some reason, Martha Dunstock isn't a character, but Betty Finn got boosted to like this massive character. Watch, one of the little girls with her is going to be Martha, I
No, I
assume.
don't think they're gonna have Martha because the
Not
whole
even
point
in,
of
not even
Martha.
a name.
No, because the whole point of Martha is that she's heavy,
But
and you
Ram,
can't do that in this Heather's.
but Ram's gay in the show, and the whole thing is I love my dead gay son, and he's actually gay. So
I don't, I don't know what they're doing. Everything's a mess.
like the way the characters talk too is actually infuriating. Like no one talks like that. It's everything is very Jesus, how do you describe how carefully constructed every
The
sentence
writers
is?
thought it was super clever, but
Yes.
in fact, it all fell flat in a really awkward, embarrassing way. I was literally embarrassed for most of this.
Like one of the lines when they were in the bathroom, when Duke and Veronica are in the bathroom, she's like, "Have you heard of JD?" And like the first thing Duke says is, "I guess I'd let him suck me off" or something like that. It's like no
Yeah,
one talks like that.
yeah, something like that.
And it's just like, uh, do they think it's funny? What sucks is the actor who plays Duke is just like, I really love this part because the dialogue is stuff that I would say. And my first thought was, oh my God, you talk like this? That's terrible. Do you have friends? No one talks like this. And it's very distracting because, like, I guess they're probably trying to go for something like this hyper clever, weird world with all these neon colors and like how everything feels weird but in a way that doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? Like it can be
Yeah.
weird and make sense because it's like there's rules. Like the Heathers movie, it felt like there was rules
Hmm.
to the universe, kind of just like how things should be and like what fits and what doesn't. And then there's this show and everything feels so off the wall and crazy. Like they talk weird and the dynamic between everyone is weird. It's like and it really does also come down to if you hate each other, why are you friends? Does that happen in real life? If you hate someone, you're friends with them?
No,
Like this?
it doesn't happen, but they did it in this because that was in the movie and the musical. The problem with that being, in the movie, you never really see how they got to be friends, and you just kind of
No.
accept it because it sets up that that's just the way it is. And in the
Yeah.
musical, they switched Veronica up just enough to where you understand why she's friends with them.
Yeah.
It was just a horrible mistake on her part that she probably would have rectified eventually.
And it was only 2 weeks. They became friends, and they were friends for 2 weeks before Chandler was like, "You're done. You're history."
Hmm.
Can we talk about the speech that she made when she was telling her, like in the original, it's like, "Go transfer to Jefferson, transfer to whatever. You're done at Westerberg." And then in the show, it's like, "Delete your Instagram, delete your Snapchat." And I'm just like, wow, this is like, it feels like old men wrote it, and and like their grandkids gave them the names of popular apps that teenagers use, and they tried to construct a script around it, but they don't understand that like no one behaves in this manner.
Yeah. I I get that they couldn't do that transfer thing because it makes more sense in an 80s context than it does in a 2018
Like
context,
the
but
suicide video instead of letter.
yeah, but people still leave notes, so that one was just fucking stupid. But for the transferring one, like even what Veronica said to her, the look it up thing.
Oh my god. Fatty. Look it up, fatty. You forgot the fatty part. It's really important you know she's fat. Did you know Heather Chandler's fat and it's okay that fat girls can be popular? Let me also point out I'm a fat girl, so it's okay that I'm using the F word. No one can get mad at me for anything I say about fat people because I'm fat people and everything I say is ironic.
But anyway.
Sorry, you're making a point.
It sounded stupid coming out of this Veronica's mouth, and her facial expression was really odd.
She bites her lip a lot, and it's weird.
That's not what bothered me. It's like she was dead behind the eyes while also looking scared, even while she was supposed to be triumphant.
Oh my god.
And it was weird.
Yeah, oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about. She does. She looks frightened, and also the dead behind the eye. Is that part of it? Like, maybe she's supposed to be a little bit numb, like JD is in the movie? Like, they gave that to her? Because, like, I think... just going right back to it, it's really weird that for no reason she had a dude go down on her. She wasn't even she wasn't enjoying it. So it's like if she wasn't doing it to like get away, she wasn't doing it for fun. What reason? I'm just like baffled. I'm baffled.
There wasn't a reason.
But like, why do that? Like, and then they didn't have JD and Veronica sleep together, which I was surprised by because they slept together immediately in both the movie and in the play.
Yeah, but they have to be a little different, just slightly different, while also cramming all the Heather stuff in at the very beginning. My favorite part was at the end was like, this season on Heather's. I was like, oh, you think you're getting a season 2?
I don't understand what they have planned because they said it's an anthology series, so next season's going to be something different, I assume, because they're going to kill off most of the cast. But is the next season going to be called Heather's and then be other Heathers? Like, what? I don't have any idea. I assume they have some kind of plan, but it's not. I mean, I hope that today's Tide Pod eating youth is smart enough to not like this show because it's just bad. It's not only offensive. It's bad. It's just a bad show.
Sweetie, keep in mind, half the youth is eating Tide Pods. The other half is taking on the government.
The other half is rocking a revolution more beautiful than I've ever seen in my whole life.
There's a lot of room between those two.
It's just like, okay, if I'd never seen the movie or the play and I watched this show, I'd still think it was like a terrible hot mess. I only watched it because I love the play so much. And I obviously love the movie. The musical is like what is closest to my heart.
I probably like the movie a little more personally, but I saw the movie before I saw the musical. But the thing with all that is, like, the movie feels like satire, the musical feels like a comedy, and the TV show feels like a hot mess. Like a steamy hot mess. Like, you kind of want to...
Die. You want to commit suicide.
And the tones for the musical and the movie work, and the tone for the
It's because it was consistent.
Show does not.
It's because it was consistent, Sarah. What's the tone for the show? Try and put a name to it.
Manic.
Manic. Okay. That works.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nothing about it was good necessarily. Like, it looked pretty, I guess.
No, it didn't.
You don't think so?
I thought it looked hideous.
You did?
Yeah, I absolutely did.
I like the set for the shop, the little gas station. I hate every word out of Duke's mouth, though. I want to murder that person every time they speak, because it's like, it feels like, the problem is when TV shows, like, there's like, I can't think of any shows that have gender queer characters, so on the one hand you want to think, oh, it's really cool that they're representing, and then you look at how they're representing them, and it's so disrespectful. The one gender queer character I've ever seen on any TV show is like this unfunny, cruel idiot, and it's like, wow, it really sucks. It really sucks that they're doing that, because you want to know what? I don't know any other shows that are going to probably have a gender queer character.
Well, the problem with that is if there was a lot of representation, it'd be less offensive. But when you do look at the representation there is, almost all of them either die or are bad guys. And so it's just like, you're just piling on at this point. You're not doing what you think you're doing.
It's like friggin' James Bond. Like, if you're a lesbian in James Bond, then actually the truth is you're straight, you just haven't met the right man. Or if you're a gay man, then you're a bad guy. And this show feels like the worst stereotypes of 1960s things. And then, like, I guess what they're doing with McLemara is that she's a fake lesbian? I don't really understand what they're going for. Of course, it was only episode 1. I mean, why did no one think... Okay, if I had a girlfriend who I thought liked girls and I saw her kissing a dude, my first thought wouldn't be she's lying about being gay. I would think, oh, she's bi. So I don't know why that didn't. Why do bisexuals not exist in other people's realities?
It's only in TV. Bisexual people do not exist on TV. I
It just
swear
doesn't
to
make.
God.
And then on the super rare occasion, there's a bisexual character. It's like Maureen from Rent. It's like they're super promiscuous and awful, and it's like, why do you hate our people? Why? That's not nice. Please let us be.
It literally baffles me that in TV, I can think of so many instances where a character goes from being straight to being gay with literally no transition over like the course of 2 episodes, and the possibility of them being bi does
Never
not
comes
come up.
How did it go in Buffy with Willow and Tara? I can't remember.
Oz left. She mourned for an episode. She saw Tara the next episode, and like stars were in her eyes. And then I think 3 episodes later, they were sleeping together.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those in a while because I hate them.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Can we? What other? We were watching that video where the guy, I forgot. I don't know his name. Do you know his name? The Needs More Gay guy from YouTube.
Phantasmo.
He's cool. He was talking about how he was talking about like in a lot of media, like the lesbian characters get murdered. And I was thinking about that too. This is a tangent that doesn't have to go with Heather's, but now that we're talking about the LGBTQ stuff, I'm getting salty about it. Because like representation is so important. Like with the Black Panther stuff coming out, like and you're seeing all these people so excited that they have characters they feel like they can identify with. I'm just like as a white woman in America, obviously it's never been a problem for me to be able to identify with anyone for the most part. I mean, yeah, pretty much. But then like seeing all these people finally getting a little representation that is good is so cool. And then you have something like this where it's like, oh look, a fat lead, and it's like, oh wait, but no, she's mean. And then like one of her sidekicks is African American. It's like, oh no, she's super dumb and mean and might be faking being a lesbian for whatever reason. Then it's like, oh, a genderqueer person, but oh, he's evil. He or she. They didn't really use pronouns. I don't know what the right pronoun is. I don't know. Just say Duke, but super evil and horrible. And like every character on that show is kind of awful, which might be the point, but
well, that happened in the movie too. Not so much the play. The play they tried to make everyone a little more sympathetic.
They really did, except for Duke.
Yeah, cool, because Duke's the bad guy.
Yeah, which is fine.
And in the movie, they're just all terrible people, Veronica included. But you don't mind much.
You can connect with Veronica. You can't connect with anybody in this show.
You don't hate anyone, even Kurt and Rand. Kurt, right?
Yeah.
Even though they are the worst characters, worse than even Chandler, because at least with Chandler, they had that moment at the beginning where you understand her character 100%.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how this show can't, with 10 episodes, make it better.
I don't know if I'm like going to be able to watch the rest, because I thought I'd be able to watch all 10 of them. But, like, the show is so much worse than I thought it was going to be. Like, way more offensive and just flat out stupid. Like, again, like, the Heathers of it aside, if that was just a TV show, I'd hate it. I wouldn't want to watch it. It's terrible. I don't like any of the characters. Like, Veronica, I really tried to like because it's Veronica. And then the thing with the boy in the car, which had no reason other than, oh, I think the writers would think this is funny. Like, that's what they did. It feels like it was a joke. Mm-hmm. Like it was supposed to be fun. I don't think it's funny. I don't know anyone who would think it was funny, like the people I associate with. So it's like, and JD's annoying. Like, God, he's so annoying. I hate him. I hate JD.
Again, he had like maybe 7 minutes of screen
time. And he
time.
used them to make me hate him.
The actor's bad too. It's like he doesn't understand what he's supposed to be doing.
It's like they pick someone who they thought was hot, and they're like, that'll do. Christian Slater was hot. We'll pick someone else hot. But guess what? Christian Slater was freaking awesome in that. And so was the kid I can't think of his name from the musical, but they both played JD so different in my opinion, but they both did it really well, and they stuck to what they chose for that character. As opposed to this show where sometimes he's mopey, sometimes he's nihilistic, sometimes he's philosophizing.
Well, with the play, he's a lot more human. And in the movie, he's very alien. Like, you don't understand how he's thinking or why.
Yeah.
Which works. And then you come to the TV show where he's there.
It's believable in the movie, whereas, like, he's pretty calm. He's super cool for most of it. In the end, he's insane. And you buy it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, he goes bonkers. And then he's still, like, when he's pacing a room reading the letter and he's going
Mhm.
crazy. And then, like, when she finds him in the boiler room, he's just like, I knew that Luce was too new. Like, he said it
Yeah.
calmly, and then he was flipping from, like, crazy to sounding calm. And it was 100% believable. And I bought it. It was great.
Mhm.
And then, like, I'm watching this show where he's, like, switching up for no reason how he's acting. And it's just giving me whiplash.
Yeah, it was just the whole thing was pretty crappy, and like I was utterly offended that they had her wearing the monocle and she's doing her diary
Yeah.
because she is not Veronica. I don't know what that bitch is, but she ain't Veronica.
She is someone who is, I guess, sexually free. You guys, it's like super cool to just like fool around with strangers when you're 17. That's a normal thing everybody does, right? That's fine. Let's pretend that's something that happens. Hey, I don't know you. Go down on me for 30 seconds, even though neither of us are enjoying it. Like, for literally no reason. Whatever. That's fine. God, the dialogue. I'm so offended. I try really hard when I'm writing to make my dialogue sound like human beings, and then this overly clever Diablo Cody wannabe trash is just like, how just? Like, screw you. That you are you mocking the very thing? Are you trying to do your own thing? Like, either you're gonna pay homage or you're gonna do your own thing, and they're trying to like have their cake and eat it too, and they just made the kitchen a mess instead of doing either.
Well, the other thing that was weird for me was the like when you understand they're trying to be ironic or do satire, which didn't feel like that.
It's not satire.
The whole point of satire is you comment on something, and then they made Heather Chandler just like super PC, I guess. Like
Yeah.
she wanted a cause to fight for, and you absolutely hate her, and they make you feel bad for Ram. I think it was Ram.
Kurt, I think Ram's the gay one. Kurt
They
is
called him Ram, I
I think
think.
he's Kurt. I think that
I
one,
don't know.
one of the
They
boys.
didn't do a good enough job introducing those two characters, but they make you feel bad for him, even though in both the movie and the play, Kurt and Ram are the worst characters. And so also I don't know if they thought of this, if it was intended to be ironic, but she was trying to uh, point out that he was wearing a racist shirt by essentially sexually assaulting him.
Not essentially. And then making him kind of sexually harass a girl.
Yeah, which wasn't funny.
It wasn't, and
I think they thought it was funny. It wasn't funny.
I don't think that's funny because that kind of garbage happens to girls, and it wasn't in the show. It wasn't. I mean, he made the choice to go do it, but he was like being forced to. So like, I don't like that. I thought that was really stupid. And it also feels like I think this is where the quote unquote irony or satire comes in with the PC stuff. Like they're trying to make her hateable because she goes over the top with the PC stuff, but it just feels like they're mocking people who care about stuff like the Redskins team
Yeah.
thing. It's like it's okay to be upset that there's a mascot that is a racist depiction of a people. It's fine to be upset about that, and it's like having her behave that way is kind of it's kind of mocking people who
Mm-hmm.
are rightfully upset. And like they had a lot of Jewish stuff thrown in there. Like Heather Chandler was friends with Veronica because she's half Jewish and it was supposed to be funny. As a Jewish person, I don't find that funny. I don't I literally cringe a little bit every time I hear someone who's not Jewish call someone a Jew. Like it literally makes me flinch a little bit inside cuz it's like I'm preparing for something offensive, which I got. Like I don't want to be like overly sensitive, but maybe maybe don't do this first show for teenagers. Maybe
Well,
just leave it out.
that's why I don't like the sexual assault part because they're playing it off as funny that
Yeah,
Heather
like it's super
forced this
hilarious.
guy to strip in the middle of the cafeteria and then peer pressured him into going and asking a girl to do something sexual, and they play it off as a joke, which is part of rape culture. That's how this shit happens.
Like,
Don't make it a joke, even during a satire or
yeah.
irony thing, even for a character you're supposed to hate. Because
There's other ways to make you hate her.
if even one person laughs, you are contributing to rape culture, and that's just on you.
Imagine for like just a second if Chandler was a guy and the girl was wearing that shirt. Like that would
Oh
be
yeah, it would be awful.
it would be an
Everyone
apocalypse.
Yeah.
So why is it okay for it to happen to some boy, like to make them take his shirt off and go sexually harass a girl who hit him in response, despite the fact that she knew he was being forced to do it and she still hit him, whatever, that aside. But, like, if you want us to hate Chandler, that's pretty easy. It's easy to make someone hate a character.
Yeah.
And it's like they want to make us despise her in 2 minutes. All you have to do to make us hate a character is make us like another character and have that character make that one feel bad. That's all you have to do. It's super easy. I've done it a billion times.
Yeah, and then the forced stripping was so that she wouldn't publicly shame him, and then she did it anyway.
Yeah.
Which is also part of rape culture.
Ugh.
So congratulations, Heathers, you have done in 40 minutes what TV has been trying to avoid for years and failing miserably.
I mean, we could probably rant for a really long time about all the things they did that were, like, dangerous and offensive and hurtful. Like, other than the show just being bad,
Yeah.
it's just upsetting. I really don't like that the writers are being like, well, we're gay, or some of us are gay, so it's all right that we're, like, being horrible to these different communities. It's like, that's their excuse, and it's not a good enough reason. So this whole show, I'm worried, is going to be this way for the rest of them, and I don't know how many I'm going to get through. I don't know if I'm going to try and watch episode 2.
I'm not.
You're not?
No.
So you make me do it alone?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I can't do that. I'm not going to support it in any way.
Ugh, you have a point. But it's this weird thing for me because I really love the musical and movie, so I was like, shouldn't I kind of watch that? But then it's like, no, it's terrible. It's, like, really upsetting. If I have to hear one more person on TV call someone a Jew in a derogatory way, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, I'm just tired of it. I have no more patience. I'm just exhausted with it. I'm exhausted with all of it. Maybe I would like to talk to someone who enjoyed this show, and I would like to ask them why they enjoyed it, and if anything about it upset them. Because so far, even before the show released the first episode, all I heard was negative stuff.
Yeah.
And the show was anticipating it, so they did that hashtag not my Heathers to try and, like, counter it. I like to think that the writers and the creator had some awareness that what they were doing was wrong, and that's why they knew they were going to get backlash, because you can reboot stuff and not get instant hate for it.
Yeah.
But they did, because everything looked terrible, and they did everything weird and wrong. It's like the things they couldn't make work for the plot, they just threw in, like her spilling the big blue on Heather was really unnecessary. Just don't do it. Like in the play, they couldn't figure out a way to get her with the monocle, so they just left it out. They didn't just have her, like, with a monocle hanging out. Like, if you can't fit it in, don't use it, and it's actually fine. You don't have to have big fun written on chips or the matches. What was that show? Something Hot Probs.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't fit it in, that's fine. It's one thing to do a cute Easter egg, but none of those were subtle.
Oh, it was all fan service.
Of course. Fans that hated them from the beginning.
I fucking hate fan service so much.
As a girl who really liked The Force Awakens, I cannot agree with you. But there's a line. Like, there's a difference between, like, a fun Easter egg and fan service, and the fans already hated this show before it premiered. I haven't seen anyone who has said they liked the movie, that they were excited about the show. Because the show, like, if you want to do something like this, you might as well just call it something else. And then that's fine. Like, well, not fine, because everything's still horribly offensive. But at least you won't have an army of people furious that you ruined their movie.
Yeah. So, basically what we're saying is, it's not worth your time.
10 out of 10. Oh. Oh. Do we have anything else we want to...
No, I think
Go watch the movie. Go listen to the musical. Those are really great. Because the musical kind of reimagined it a little bit, but in ways that fit with the world and were good. Whereas the show tried and failed.
Yeah.
So, how many out of 10?
0.
0? Okay.
There was no moments of joy.
I hated everything. I hated every character. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think there was anything in it that amused me. I don't think I can watch the next episode. It wasn't ironic. It wasn't satire. It was just upsetting. 0 out of 10. Hopefully I will die having never seen this twice. So, thank you for enduring our rant. We'll be back soon with something else, hopefully a little more positive. So, thank you for joining us. you want to sign out? Do you have a sign off?
No.
No, we have no sign off. Sorry, we're a mess.
We're gonna go drink Dr. Pepper. Bye.
Bye.